but they left a letter. Do not trust the Lord. He cannot save you. Hezekiah prayed and sent the letter to Isaiah. Isaiah wrote that the Lord said back to Hezekiah, "Don't worry about Jerusalem from this fellow. He's finished already." To the king of Assyria, Sennacherib, the Lord said, "You think too highly of yourself. You won battles I decided." 185,000 of Sennacherib's men were killed. He got back to Assyria to be murdered in one of his own temples. Later, Hezekiah got a boil so bad he was dying. He said to Isaiah, "I've been good." He wept bitterly. Isaiah started out of the building, but turned around when God said, "I will add 15 years to his life." Later, the king of Babylon came, and Hezekiah showed him all his riches. Isaiah was very angry. When Isaiah told Hezekiah Babylon would be back and carry away some of his own sons, Hezekiah felt like it was good news because it wouldn't happen during his reign. Hezekiah's son Manasseh was the worst king Judah ever had. The day he took over, moral decay descended into Jerusalem like a fog. He forced his son to walk into a fire as a sacrifice. He was into everything evil. Sure enough, Judah went right along. The temple was put to alternate use. Manasseh got carried off by the Assyrians. When they let him back, he took down some of his idols. Joash became king when he was 8 years old, after a sloppy end to Manasseh's influence. When Josiah turned 18, he commanded that the temple be cleaned out. Under Manasseh, the temple really had nothing to do with the Lord. It was in such ill use that while they were cleaning, they found a copy of the law of Moses. It included all the agreements and promises. When the book was read to Josiah, he said, "We're doomed. We haven't kept any of this agreement. God must be very angry. Go inquire of the Lord." The high priest and his staff weren't certain about how to inquire of the Lord. They went to a prophetess. She told them judgment was indeed due, but it would happen after Josiah had a natural death. Now all the people heard the law. There was a revival. Josiah tore down the altars and killed or removed their priests. He went up to Israel and destroyed idols up there too. When he got back to Jerusalem, he started promoting Passover. He sent special invites to Israel. Most of the folks scoffed, but some came. And when they got to Jerusalem, they were ceremonially unclean. They had to get a special clause so they could join in. This was the biggest Passover of any king in Israel or Judah had ever had. You had to go all the way back to Samuel to see one this big. Nahum predicted the destruction of Nineveh, the capital of Assyria. Zephaniah reminded all Israel's neighbors they would be destroyed too.